to but they're getting booty. They
He said, go out there and rob these houses and bring back the bounty, and then that'll pay your way.
Because Republicans who get endorsement from Georgia carry that they mean anything.
You can't sit on the sidelines any longer. You must get involved in the game. This is your sign. All right, everybody. Welcome to Small Town Underground, this Saturday night special. Just getting everything set up here. I've got a couple special guests in here with me tonight for Saturday. And thank you for joining in. I know you've seen me a lot this week. And we take advantage of any time that we can do some live streaming, any time that we can get people in here to the studio. So as if you're new to the channel, thank you for checking it out, following, subscribing. And we do a normal Wednesday night show at 9 p.m. And then we get to do these awesome specials whenever we can, time allows. So I'm super excited tonight. I've got a couple of really cool people in here with me from Floyd County. They are patriots, grassroots to the fullest. That organizers, activists. They are very, very active in Floyd County, and I'm pleased to announce that these are going to be two candidates running for some executive positions in the Floyd County GOP this year. So this is huge, and I'm very glad to bring this. So if you're from Floyd County or you know anybody in Floyd County and you have any groups that you want to share this out to, please help me share it out. I've got to finish that right now, but we want to get it to as many Floyd County people and patriots as possible, and we're going to hear from them tonight, and we'll pick their brain, leave a comment, ask a question. You know, we're going to get, these are the people that are wanting to step up and lead the Floyd County Republican Party into the golden age of the Trump era. And we're not seeing that a lot in Georgia under our legislature, under the Gold Dome right now. So we want to be proactive in bringing that forward. So with me tonight is Angela Rubino.
Hello, everybody.
And David Smith. And David, of course, you know David Smith on X is Greasyboots. He's all over the place. He's been on the show with us a few times. They brought Dr. Frank here, which was an awesome experience. And so I work with these guys a lot, man. I really care about our other counties and bringing everybody together. And you can't ask for better grassroots boots on the ground people. So welcome to the show. How are y'all?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. So we're going to start with you, Angela. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and just tell them, who you are and what you're all about, okay?
Oh, good. Where can we start? Angela Rubino, Floyd County. I originally moved down from New York. God, what can I say? We're troublemakers, right?
well,
But we're good troublemakers,
Good trouble.
right? We like to shake it up.
Yeah.
Right.
God, go ahead, David.
Well, I say we just me and Angela met back, what was it, 2020, I guess, at the Floyd County Commission meeting. I think we got hooked up through Telegram or something, but
Right.
we were both not. We saw things going on in Floyd County and with the election, and really the first thing was the masks and all the COVID hysteria stuff that was going on. That is kind of what brought us together. And I know I was surprised at the time when I finally actually came out to something that I thought, well, there's going to be, all kind of Republicans and people around here that are, we're with Marjorie and all, they're such a strong conservative area. We're going to have all kind of Republicans out here raising Cain about this stuff. And then only to find out that it was just me and her and my wife and, a couple other people. That's about it. And it's just kind of grown from there. We kind of became friends and have worked through the last 4 or 5 years together, just trying to grow the conservative movement in Floyd County. So we've been through a lot together, but I think we're a good pair in a way because I think we balance each other. She tends to be a lot more outspoken a lot of times and makes more of a pop in some of these things.
Right.
But and I tend to like to be a little more reserved and kind of stand back and take in what's going on but I think we balance each other out, and so that's kind of how we got started, and I guess why we're here now is because we want to try to keep this going. A few years ago I guess it was 2 years ago at the last Floyd GOP election and stuff when we ran for a few of the positions, and of course come up short on that, but then we wound up forming the Etowah Republican Assembly.
That's right.
And try to keep working and to grow that, and it's just I think we're having a lot of good success with that. But it really what it all boils down to, and what we have come to find in our years of experience in this is no matter what the situation is that we're facing, is it comes back to people have to be involved and informed and educated, and that, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of other people we talk to, that's what's missing in Floyd County, is that there's a lot of issues, a lot of things going on, but unless you're kind of living this stuff and really a political junkie in a way like we are,
Right.
A lot of people don't really know what's going on. They're not getting informed by the local news and that kind of thing. And the Floyd GOP leadership, in my opinion, has been absent in a lot of ways when it comes to really getting the community involved and educated and informed about what's going on,
Right.
Especially at the local level. So that's something I would like for us to work on and to be able to change, is to get more community involvement from all the patriots in the county. I always talk about how many Trump signs and stuff that I see driving around Floyd County every day, but it's the same few people that you always see at the GOP meetings and at events like that, and I think that's got to change if we want to move forward and to do better, and get more people involved and educated and all. We got to work on that.
That's right. That's right.
And that change is hard.
Yeah. It
is.
They have a status quo, and they don't want that change.
Sure, it's been a country club mentality for a long time, and I used to think that joining the Republican Party, you'd end up grouping in with more like-minded individuals, but I realized that we're the ones that's kind of broken the Republican Party up,
Right.
because it was just more like country club politics, who's who, and they had a very structured, thing going on, and now here we are trying to prioritize it as America first and get back to constitutional and principles, and they're looking at us like we're the extremists.
Right.
Oh yeah, we definitely see that, and I know it's a few weeks ago, I guess now, that when we kind of got to talking about this, and watching what's going on in Floyd County, they are having the slate basically that they're kind of coming out with, said, okay, this is who's going to be in each position. And I said to her, I was like, isn't an election means there's supposed to be a contest. There's supposed to be options and choices and like
Multiple
what's
choice.
this person say?
Sure.
And there was none of that. And I said, well, if nobody else is going to step up to the plate and try to at least give people an option, then maybe we should do it.
Right.
Sure, I remember Ray Blankenship was on the show with me last night. We talked about the first thing we ever did with the Second Amendment, and I'll never forget it. I had no idea who Marjorie Taylor Greene was, and I just showed up to this gun rally in Floyd County, I was in Rome at the Rome Fairgrounds.
Right.
That was the first one I
Piece
ever
of
went
alley,
to.
yeah.
Yes. And we set up a table outside, and at the time it was John Cowan, and that was the Republican favorite, and everybody hated Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody. And look, my, how things have changed, I'll never forget that, and I look back on that thinking that how structured it was, and how we're the ones that have busted the party up, so.
100%. And look, me personally, and I think David and everybody else, we didn't want to do this.
Sure.
Really, it's more of a need. People ask for it. It's time. People are sick and tired of it.
Right.
So we have to do something about it. And what is it that you always say, David? If not us, who?
Yeah.
Exactly.
If not now, when?
I agree. That's why we're here in this very room tonight. Can you go into some detail? So you guys, and I want to brag a little bit about the ERA, the Etowah Republican Assembly, because I've been with you guys for a long time. I've been to some of your functions and had a great time. The 4th of July, the party that you guys threw with the fireworks, that was absolutely amazing. So kind of let's talk about the ERA. What have you built?
So we started it because for precisely the reasons people don't have a voice with the GOP. We tried to get there, and they shut people down. They don't want your involvement. It's our way, no other way. So that essentially was a tool for us to get started for that. And we've just been hitting, the ground running. We do events all the time. We do great events. We've had, David Perdue, John Gordon. Frederick's Bus.
Wow.
Who else?
Garland Favorito.
Favorito.
Well, I think, having Dr. Frank, we had Dr. Frank.
That was awesome.
Yeah. And
you guys did you guys along, I think Reagan did one, you guys did one for Dr. Frank at the first time I'd ever been.
Yeah, at the City Hall.
Yes, and that was amazing, what the information he was breaking down. But go ahead.
But no, we do great events. Mm-hmm. We do a great job. We get people to come out.
I was say, and back to that, like about the Dr. Frank thing, these other events where we've had Senator and Governor candidate David Perdue and John Gordon running for Attorney General and quite a few other
They've had
these
Cash
people.
Patel, right?
You know what? That's all Karen Dobson with Trump Force 47. That was
Yes.
her. So I'll give a shout out to our girl.
Yeah.
And she's running for director of events.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and she knows how to pull them off.
Yeah.
Cash Patel, Lee Zeldin, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Mike Collins. She did great. She knows what she's doing, and she'll be a big big benefit for the GOP. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
But with the Dr. Frank event and the ones when we had David Perdue and some of these others, I think I'm correct in saying I don't think anyone from the GOP, like the leadership of the GOP or anyone, was involved or came out to those events. And
No.
It's sad. There's so much they could have learned from the Dr. Frank thing, especially.
Ask that. So I know you guys, and I've been supporting y'all, and I've come out there a few times, and there's not a lot of Floyd County involved in any of this stuff.
No.
Why do you think that? I mean, these are all very proactive things that are bringing communities together and opening up talking debates.
I think
where
it's
is
losing
Floyd
control.
County?
I think it's you losing power. I could assume that's what it is, and I think people are tired of that. And I think we have a good chance, and we're trying to win some hearts and minds when we go in on March 22nd.
Right.
We have a lot to offer. We have great people who are part of this.
Yeah.
And we need everyone to be part of this. We're trying to bridge the gap. We're trying to educate people, like David said earlier. That's what this is all about. We have a candidate event coming up on Tuesday, which you'll be part of.
That's right. That's right.
Education. It's all about education, getting people involved. That's the way that it was supposed to be, right? You elect these people in these positions.
That's the way I thought it was supposed to be.
Right. We got to bring it back to that. And we have there needs to be communication between the people and the leaders. They need to know what's wrong, not just getting on Facebook and getting upset and whatever. Come out, educate yourself, be involved, and have a good rapport so they're able to listen to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the bedrock of what we're doing, and I think, honestly, the Republican Party has never been accessible to me.
Right.
I started out years ago with the 2A, and we just did things on the fly, petitions. The Republican Party started coming out to our events and setting up, and I never in my life thought about the Republican Party. It's not. I've always voted conservative, Republican. I mean, because Democrats, they're just crazy, and they're worse now, and they're hijacked. But the thing is that I would have never, on my own, went to the Republican Party had they have not come out to me and supported, a rally we were doing. And so finally, I started reading the principles, and I was like, "This is it. This is where the battle's at. I can get behind this." All to find out that, the more it seems like the more you try to do on the ground, and the more that you try to bring people in, the harder they fight against you. And I'm like, wait a second. I thought this was the whole point of boots on the ground. We got to get all these
the
people.
bigger the number, the less you can control.
All those Trump signs you talk about. Where are those people? Why aren't they there in the meetings?
I don't know. I mean, and you brought up a good point. Goodness, I lost my thought. Honestly, I was going somewhere with that.
Well, we need this party opened up. We need more people. I've seen more and more people get involved in the last couple of years, especially everybody. The MAGA movement, the people are on fire about Trump. We got him elected,
right,
completely across the board. So people are hungry for this stuff. We've got to be the ones to get them in there.
100%. And to go back and came to me, it's sure. People they're disenfranchised by the GOP. Right,
I think so.
They reach out via email. There's no response. You try to talk to them. They don't want to talk to you. They cut you off, and then this level of they're better than you.
Oh yeah, country club.
Yeah, and that's a problem. So this is why we're here. It's kind of your own fault.
Yeah.
Well, and I talk to people every day in my job on the phone, and people coming in and all, and when you get to talking, I see so many bumper stickers and people with shirts and hats and all this stuff, and so you can strike up a political conversation with a lot of folks. And to this date, I've still never started a conversation about any of this stuff with any, and I'm talking people from Floyd County, that I've known a lot of times for years and years and years. Then when you start talking about this local politics stuff, they're like, oh, I don't want. I mean, GOP, I don't want a part of that. And sometimes certain names or certain, there's people that they've been turned off by years in the past, or feel like they've been disrespected or mistreated or all these kind of things. And we have seen it personally with a few people too, how just the lack of respect. And I think it's somebody said earlier, it seems like they just want to they'd rather have the 10, 15, 20 people that are kind of all on the same page and on that boat together, as opposed to trying to get anybody else to come in to help out and to grow the party.
Sure.
Well, you're good when you got to give money. Right.
Yeah, sure.
And they're going to tell you how to vote and who you need to vote on. They're good for that. And it come back to me too. That our first experience really with the GOP was. It came about because of the election stuff and all, where had got involved, and we were talking about the problems that we had in Floyd County with the 2,800 or whatever it was missing votes and all that stuff. We started kind of raising awareness about that. A week or two later at one of the next meetings, and who I didn't even know at the time, but the GOP chairman came in and basically said, "Hey, the Floyd GOP doesn't have anything to do with these people. They're crazy. They're tinfoil hatters. Don't listen to them. Everything's fine. The election's good. Don't worry about it." Well, as we all know, even to this day, President Trump and Marjorie and all of these people who we look to as leaders, as real true conservative leaders, are still pounding the drum about the election, and not only 2020 but 2022.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Kamala Harris around 2020 come into Floyd County and have a lot to do with the after election process in Floyd?
Right. Well, I think it was her photographer.
Her campaign photographer.
Right.
Campaign photographer. Yeah.
So he was in.
He was the one running.
He was in. Yeah. See, so let's go there. All right. I'm having problems in the state of Georgia, right? We're keeping up with so many things that are going on. And to me, and as several of my friends and colleagues, it seems like that the gates to the golden age are just closed right now. They're locked up. by our current legislature. Now we're all from the 14th district, so Floyd County has always been a different place. Even as a child going to Floyd County, Rome is a beautiful city, but I've always been told it's like basically you know how we talk about the 9 counties surrounding Atlanta. Well, a lot of people always associate Floyd County as one of those suburbs where the rich sort of elitist people move to Floyd County, and they're far enough out of all the traffic and in the country. And so they bring this mentality there that's kind of like the same thing, sort of like a Republican in name only, establishment, who's who. Would you agree? Is that what you see that's going on in Floyd?
I do. And when I first moved here, it was, Rome has a dome over it. And I really didn't get it at first. I'm like, okay. But now I'm like, golly,
Yeah.
he was right.
Well, it certainly seems that way, and I'm an outsider. I don't go to the meetings. I know a lot of people in Floyd County that work together, mainly a lot of you guys, because I don't ever see anything that the Floyd County Republican Party is doing.
Right. And look, me personally, I think David too, the rest of us, we want to get Floyd back on the map. I think they're the only ones who's really not grassroots. And that's a problem because everyone else is. So we need to catch up.
Yeah,
that's right.
And the 14th district, especially, I think me and you have talked before. It's kind of like Floyd County and Rome is like the capital city or something of the 14th district in a way.
Well,
so
you got
like this
Marjorie
little
Taylor
blue
Greene
enclave
there. You've got all, absolutely.
Yeah, but talking to the people, and I was born, raised in Floyd County, business there, been there all my life, and it is great. But it's in these last few years that as I started paying attention more to politics at the local level, that have been quite surprised by the difference that I see in everything else going on in the 14th district and the direction that we're headed, and in Marjorie's leadership and all, and everything that she's talking about. And one of the first things too, back whenever we kind of first met years ago, it was right during this time that Marjorie was taking all the heat from Nancy Pelosi and everybody up there over the mask deal. They were fining her for not wearing a mask and all this kind of thing.
Right.
And she was making a big thing about it on social media, and also it was out there. And meanwhile, all of our local, I remember seeing some of the GOP leadership and people that are supposed to be Republicans with the masks and just carrying along, continue the status quo.
Right.
Don't push back. Don't say anything that might be, cut against the grain in any way. But, sometimes, I like to say, sometimes there's a fight that's worth having. I want to get along with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty reasonable guy. But when it comes, like the mask thing, that was too much for me. I was like, this is black and white. Like, there's all these doctors out here talking about this, that it's such a problem. And we're just supposed to drink the Kool-Aid.
Sure.
That 2 + 2 = 5, and don't say anything about it.
Right.
And where's the leadership? Like, there's supposed to be the conservative political leadership in the community to say, hey, maybe we should look at it. Like county commissioners get together.
Sure.
Let me show you some of this information here so that we can make a better decision, or at least be more informed about it. But
I think that's
the
when we
pushback
realized
you
there's
get,
more uniparty.
yeah,
Sure.
That's what we were dealing with.
Well, you still have election deniers to this
Oh,
day.
yeah.
You still have people who believe in the mask and COVID after all of this information has come out. You're not going to be able to wake people up, especially you're not going to be able to convince people who don't want the boat rocked, who aim to lose something. The truth will always cost you.
Right.
It was telling to me back during that time too. We used to have, and it's been a few years since we've had the big air show in Rome.
Yeah.
And with the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and all, big deal, out in the open. And so during COVID, it was the air show had come about again. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying maybe it was the city, but I think the county was involved somehow too. And okay, we'll have the air show, but it was all locked down, and I think you had to stay in your car and couldn't get out and walk around. I was like, we're out in the middle of this field, that's
breathing jet
100
fuel.
acres and all
Right.
this.
Worried about
But we
COVID.
got to have masks on and can't get out. It's like, does anybody have any common sense here? Like just a little bit of conservative or just common sense, period.
Right.
It's
Well, it's
so
a group
shocking.
think mentality. You don't want to step out of line. You want to just go along and get along, and then that's a bad psychological place to be in. Whenever
100%.
They're trying to shut down the entire world, especially pretty much because of a presidency. Let's just be honest.
Right,
I mean,
right.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
We could go on and on about
And
it.
I know that the like our county commissioners and even our state representatives and people, like they're busy. They have a lot of stuff to worry about, a lot of stuff on their plate that they're dealing with, and so they can't be expected to know some of these details about this stuff that
Sure.
we're talking about. I mean, you kind of got to really dig in and focus on some of it to understand. But I think that's the role, or should be the role of in this case, the Floyd GOP, is to have some political leadership and people that are paying attention to this stuff to be able to take it to some of these people
Right.
to bring it up the chain. And I think that is one thing that I have seen that is sorely missing in Floyd County, is it works right the opposite of what it really should. It should be that the grassroots and the people on the ground, we are the people that all these other ones are working for. They're supposed to be representing us. But instead, what I have noticed is happening is it works the other way around. Is it's dictated from the top down, from the whether it's the governor or from our senators or representatives and all that. This is what we're going to do, and then they'll talk to the GOP leadership and say, okay, now y'all go sell this to everybody else.
Right.
And if you step out of line, then somebody comes at you with,
I think
hey,
we've seen that. Yeah.
quiet down about this. Don't say that. This is what we're going to do, so don't worry about it. We got it covered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you step out of line, they're going to push you down to solitude and arrest you and put you in jail like our senator.
And we got
Colton
experience with
Moore.
that too. Yeah.
Right. We've had that happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have,
You know?
and you've been arrested before. Both of
David,
you guys
yeah.
have been arrested.
Right.
My God! And then what charges dropped? Mark Swanson is doing a lot of election integrity. We know. I follow him. He's been on the show a few times, and they're having an uphill battle with with getting information and trying to get over this hump. I mean, it seems like they have it on lockdown.
Well,
Floyd
it's
County.
sad to me. When we were arrested, there was talk and all for a few weeks ahead before that about that the event that was called the Pride event and all. Total silence from the Floyd GOP on that. They
sure.
don't say nothing, don't do anything. Don't protest, don't do nothing. Okay, so then whenever it all went down, and we were very, very peaceful and all that, and then I was just there documenting things. I wasn't protesting,
you guys
just on
weren't
film.
even there.
But then when they
private
find
property.
out, that what actually happened and went on there, still nothing. They don't come to our aid or say, hey, that was little,
No,
maybe it shouldn't have happened
rumor
that
was that that's what we deserved to have gotten arrested.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Isn't that something? I mean, tell me about. So let's look at your representatives. What kind of representation do you have in Floyd County? Let's go up just a little bit. Are you able to talk to your legislators and get things out to them? Are they listening to you?
I'm still waiting.
Really?
Still waiting on emails and phone calls and nothing.
I can't say that back initially when I first started getting involved and sending out emails and some phone calls and stuff that I think I got an email back from Mr. Lumsden, Mr. Huffstetler like once.
Okay.
Never anything from Miss Dempsey.
Really?
And then it's they just and the emails that you do get back is very kind of
Generic.
canned. It's just like okay, yeah,
Right.
we got you. They're not really listening.
Wow.
Don't really care.
That's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, they should be listening, especially now more than ever. So
Yeah.
you basically, you kind of seem to have a county GOP that's just doing their own thing out here, staying in the lane. You've got representatives over there that aren't listening to you. I mean, it sounds to me like it needs a big
Right.
change.
Well,
and they take it personally.
Of
Right?
course they
It's
do.
not personally. We're not trying to come at you personally. You're just not representing the people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there's going to be pushback when you do that.
I agree 100%.
And I can say, at least for the northern tip of the county that Colton represents, I think he's doing a really good job. But it's hard for me to understand how Floyd County can vote for, of course, Marjorie, President Trump. You got the section up there vote for Colton, and then we get some of the other representatives that we have that. Colton has come out. I think it was just this week that he had made a speech from the floor about some of the budget stuff and taxes.
Oh yeah,
and
he
some
was
of
the
all that
only
stuff.
one that voted against the
it.
budget.
Yeah. Well, who is the chairman
4.4
of the
billion.
Senate Finance Committee? It's our other senator from Floyd County, Chuck Huffstetler.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
It's polar opposite.
Well,
black
it
and white in
sounds
some of
like
that.
to me, and if you guys, especially you guys, with as much activism, as much of the community that you support, it sounds like we're going to have to primary some of these people to get somebody to listen to you. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel, and you don't have to answer that question tonight, but I am sick and tired of hearing the legislators aren't listening to people.
Right.
This is the entire embodiment of what they were sent up there to do in the first place.
Right. And the thing is, like, a lot of people are sick, but no one wants to throw their hat in the race. And I know it's not easy,
Yes.
but, change won't come unless you do.
That's right.
Well, and what has happened to, we know a few people who have thrown their hat in
Right.
for some positions in the past and have gotten attacked basically by not only the representatives and all, but by the GOP leadership, and I wouldn't.
Right. How
I'm
dare
not,
you?
Not going to put any names out, but
Yeah.
Right.
you
How
know,
dare
it's again, it gets back. Let's just have a contest. Like, let the best man win.
Right.
Y'all talk about the issues, and if
Right.
one's better than another, then so be it. But they want to control it, and something else that I think is a huge problem in Floyd County, and it's probably not just Floyd County, but you know, is the voter turnout in primaries and stuff, especially.
Right.
And it gets back to, again, from my opinion, the Floyd GOP isn't doing anything to educate the voters or to say, hey, there's a primary, come out and vote in it. It's they would rather have, you know, win by 3,000 or 4,000 votes in a county of 100+ thousand.
Well, that's how you control it.
That's
That's
100%. That's how you
And then
control it.
when people have ran in the past too, you know, they come up with against all this this pushback, and then they wind up using campaign finance tactics and just all kind of stuff to punish. And not only do they you know, get taken out in ways, but then they get punished financially just for because they even, you know, put their name out there to run in the first place.
Wow.
It's really something else.
Folks out there, anybody that is joining us tonight from Floyd County, please, if you have any questions or comments you want to leave, we're going to read these at the end, so please feel free to do that. And if you haven't already, share this out to any Floyd County groups that you know of, because we're trying to get as much exposure as we can for the people that are wanting to change up the things and make things better for all citizens.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny is we were talking about this on the way up. We put on events. We do all sorts of stuff. We campaign for their ERA to get members. We campaign for the GOP to get members to join the GOP. And every time it's, well, I don't want to give them my money. I don't like this GOP. I don't want to join this GOP. We're not the problem.
Right.
Our current GOP happens to be the problem. You guys are doing something wrong.
Right.
It's time to listen to the people.
I totally agree. So, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of the inside stuff baseball. I can tell y'all, I believe that Floyd County definitely needs a change.
100%. And we're going to bring that change.
Yeah.
Once we get
So,
in
do you
there.
have anything that platform-wise that you'd like to share about how you would change the GOP? What would you try to bring in first to kind of change up things?
Open communication.
Right.
Is what I think what we need with the members. I like to hear what your problems are. That's what we do with the ERA. Everyone's got a voice. Everyone has an equal voice.
Right.
Just because you stand in an executive position, you're not better. You know,
Sure.
and how we're going to know how to change if we don't hear from the people. If we don't know the problems, bring your problems forward. And if we have that ability to talk to legislators, then let's talk to legislators. Let's do something.
Yeah, I mean, in your county, I went to the Trump rally I went to was in your
Right.
county when we volunteered. Like, you guys have a perfect place to bring in some big name people, like we were the pictures down in the bottom here. I mean, it's prime to get all of these people and have all the attention, and that's a great thing to have. I mean, your GOP should have been more of a part of what y'all are doing.
Yeah. You know, and again, I hate to keep bringing Marjorie's name up in this, but, you know, I mean, I think Marjorie's been one of the greatest things to come to the 14th district in Floyd County. Like, she has such name recognition and all. You know, she's such a player in the Trump, you know, the America First movement and all, that it really gives us, you know, a lot to look forward to, I guess, there in Floyd County with her leadership. But I'd like to see the GOP and other leadership actually collaborating and working with Marjorie on some of these things, some of these issues, and get like election integrity. That's a big thing for me, where they have just been totally out to lunch on that. And I've been one of the few in some of these meetings that have like brought up. I remember when Marjorie went to one of those Mike Lindell conferences or something that was back years ago. You know, nobody knew anything, said anything about it. You know, I was the one to stand up and like thank her for going and attending that, because I mean, they were talking about some very serious things there that I know that if everyone in Floyd County heard the kind of issues they were working on and talking about with those the machines, all the problems there, I mean, that people are already fed up with it, want to go back to paper, but it's just in the GOP, it's just you can't talk about that stuff. And the people that they put on the election board, you know, we could at least get one person maybe on that election board that has a little bit different way of thinking.
Right.
Like, you know, it's not saying that anything's going to change overnight, but at least have like an outside opinion. It's very, very rare, I think, in any of like the county commission meetings or any of these kind of things where everything's not just unanimous.
Right.
Everybody's either yes or no. You know, and
you have a senator that just dropped Senate Bill 303, which is to get rid of the Dominion voting system, go back to a paper ballot system, which if you read the Georgia election code, it's not complex. What we need to do, a paper ballot, hand counted at precinct level.
Yeah.
He has challenged every governor in America. Why would the GOP, even if you didn't care about the elections, even if you didn't have an opinion on Dominion voting systems, why would you care if we swapped from that to paper ballots in the first place? You see what I'm saying? There's no argument there. And we have a state senator, partly in Floyd County, that is calling for this right now. And you're hearing crickets from the GOP. No, nobody has stood up yet. You know, I plan to bring up a resolution anyway in support of this.
You can't get our representatives, the other ones besides Colton from Floyd County, my experience anyway, to even say the word Dominion or election integrity or anything. And I have suggested in the past through social media and all, like, hey, why don't we invite up, we always have these speakers, they'll invite people to come up for the GOP meetings and talk about something. Just 1 month, let's invite Garland Favorito.
Yeah.
You know, just... If he's crazy and they ain't making no sense, then let the people see that and decide for themselves.
Well, it's got to
make
make
sense. They won't have the conversation.
I mean, because our GOP bylaws for Floyd County, you know, it says vote paper ballot.
That's exactly what it says. Yeah, I mean that's what the election code says, and they know that they're out of the scope of the contract. They know that they're not doing it right. They don't care. They will run from us.
Yeah, but they'll say they got to get back into into detail. Oh well, you just don't understand how things really work, and it really is paper ballots because of this system, you know, that prints out a paper ballot and a QR code and all that stuff. You just don't understand how to read the law and all that. Yeah. You know, well, break it down to me simply. Like what we're talking about here is
Tell me why you want to spend all these millions of dollars to upgrade this system then if it's everything's hunky-dory.
But if you can't even acknowledge the fact that there's a problem, then...
Well, I agree. At this point, if you're that stubborn, you know, then you should have no business in any of this stuff. If you're that stubborn and you're going to die on these hills when so much evidence has come out. Like, how could we shut out this golden age? Why would anybody not accept it? This is the prime time to do the things that have been needed to be done for so long.
Yeah. And as leaders, you have to be able to bend.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that's what makes someone a good leader.
You don't have to apologize or come out and say you're wrong and say, okay, look, let's move forward. You know, that's what I think where the accountability comes in.
Right. It's just a straight rigidness from everyone.
And that's gets back to like when we first met, like I was talking about earlier, and all this. If that had went on for a month or two and then just kind of fizzled out and went away, then okay, fine. But it hasn't. You know, I have one of my taglines that I post a lot on Twitter and Telegram and all that stuff is Floyd County Patriots still know stolen elections have consequences until we ditch Dominion. You know, we're a banana republic. I continue to say that because President Trump is saying it, Marjorie's saying it, General Flynn's like Bannon, all these people, all these conservative leaders continue to talk about that, and you know, it happened in Floyd County, the Williamson, Tennessee area, and all that. We know what happened, and it's not me. It's all these experts, you know, Clay Parikh and people like that can show you chapter and verse exactly what's going on. But they don't.
That
is
talk what's so crazy about this, guys. As much as we've been down to the Capitol and supporting people like Jordans for Truth, Voters Georgia, I say all you got to do is just say, okay, all right, everybody, just come in this room and sit down, and I'm going to give you 30 minutes to come up with something, and we're going to fix this now. That's as simple as it can possibly be. In 30 minutes, they would have the election process completely fixed, 100% transparent. They won't do that. They don't want it fixed, guys. All right. We know that.
Control. It all go back to control.
That's right. And you know, each day that passes, we're getting closer to 2026, and what a clown show it is going to be with what we're seeing at the moment, right? We're musical chairs being played in this state.
Right. Well, you know, one more thing that comes to mind kind of with that is with Colton and some of this. I wasn't able to go, but a few weeks, month or so ago, you were down there with Antonio and some others. So we had a few of our ERA members went down there. And to support Colton, walking back into the chamber that day.
That's right.
And who do they run into but for our GOP chair down there? It's like, oh, well, this is surprising. It's down there, but it wasn't to support Colton.
Right.
I don't know what it was for. But
speaking of which, where is our GOP chair?
That's a good question.
Right.
I saw your GOP chair down there too, and I didn't get to speak to him or anything. But wow, yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that. He wasn't there for that. So
no, it was I think at the speaker's office. from what I heard. Now,
Okay.
you know, I'm sure I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like the majority of people, I mean, everybody I talk to in Floyd County certainly stands with Colton and all that. And, you know, I mean, freedom of speech, like, you have the speech and debate clause and all that kind of stuff. It's probably different in the state level than it is in D.C., but at any rate, Colton shouldn't have been able to have his opinion and say, you know, whatever he want about that.
Sure.
And in fact, he brought the details and all of the backup to the stuff he's talking about there with Ralston and everything. So, you know, it's not like there's nothing to talk about or discuss there. There's some substance to it.
Oh, no, they were taking a vote that day,
Yeah.
and he had the floor. He could have said whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a clear violation of the Constitution, and they know it.
Yeah.
They know it. They're getting knocked down a peg or two. I can't wait to see what happens with that, because that silenced us that day. That was,
Yeah.
an
But I think it
abomination
backfired
of
too,
government.
because it got so much attention that I don't think they were banking on that fact either. But
And yet
it's-
another reason for people to get involved.
Absolutely.
100%.
And you saying that makes me think too, because I've been on your show several times and watch it a lot, and I hear and see people commenting from Floyd County, and you know, that gives me some hope that, you know, I know there's people out there that I don't know and don't communicate that aren't involved in the ERA or GOP and some of that.
Yeah.
But it's imperative that if you're a patriot from Floyd County, you've got to get involved. Like, if we're going to change things, it has to happen from the ground level
Yep.
up. From the GOP is the foundation of
That's right.
politics in our county and in the local level, and it takes these. You know, it's great to be on Facebook and social media and all that. Like, we need these digital soldiers, absolutely. But in order to change things, you have to pay to play. Unfortunately, that's how the
Right.
system is set up. And if
Show
you want
up.
to have a vote in changing it, and we're talking about here, I mean, the last time, a couple of years ago, we lost this election by like 5, 6, 8 votes, maybe. It would take very few people. I always say, if just 1% of the people that had a sign in their yard showed up to this election one day a year, I mean, you didn't got to do that much. Just come out. Like, you can be the change that is needed in order to start to move us in a different direction, or at least to question or to counter the status quo. Like, we've done the status quo thing for as long as I've been around and been involved in it and all, and it's.
And then,
Well-
you know, people are sick and tired, and I get it, and that's what keeps them from getting involved, which is a problem. And again, I'll go back to how they're treated. They're not told information. It's not a secret. Our chairman has resigned.
Gotcha.
I want to know why our members don't know. Why?
Wow.
Why hasn't the current board told the members?
You guys haven't even got an email about this?
No,
your
sir.
Chair, you're telling me your chair has resigned.
Yes, sir. So
And-
where? Why don't we know?
Do you know who's running the show right now? Did the vice
I mean,
chair
I would
step up?
assume it would have to be the vice, right?
I would assume that. Wow, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, well, it's not.
It's a
secret,
problem, you know. In other counties, it would be great to have the membership involved in some form. You know, let's do more than just have a meeting once every couple months to where somebody comes out and speaks, and then people eat a little bit and go. Like, the members need to be heard. Like,
Right.
we have precinct, chairs and all these stuff that people should you should be able to go up through the chain of command
Right.
in order to get a message across or point or to communicate. And I
Sure.
think maybe that's something that we can bring to the table.
Oh,
Let's
absolutely
get
good.
the membership to, if you got an issue, whatever it may be, and with the scrap metal place down in the county somewhere that's causing a problem, or there's all kinds of issues that one person or a few people by themselves may not be able to get the attention on it that is needed. But if you're able to go through the GOP and the leadership and all, and so we can take it to the county commissioners and to these other leaders and say, hey, this is a problem. Like, let's do something about that.
Right, that's
That's
supposed to be the
sorely
point.
missing in the leadership now, I think, and I think that's something that we could really do a lot to change.
Right. I do want to clarify, ERA, GRA, Floyd County doesn't like it. They do not like it. And by they, I mean legislators and GOP board members. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is a GRA member. Heck, she's a lifetime member.
I'm a GRA member.
Right.
Josh McCoon.
Josh
is a
McCoon. I
member.
mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
I think most of the executive committee of the GOP state level are GRA members.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, they're doing a great service by trying to adhere to candidates that are, America First candidates,
Right.
principled people, and we need that accountability, right? Because we haven't had it for a long time, and
Right.
we're changing things. I mean, let's look at where we have come from. This the last 6 months alone. Donald Trump was supposed to be killed.
Right.
back in July. This whole thing would have been completely changed. We'd had, God forbid, we'd have had Kamala Harris in there,
God.
probably already in full-scale war, and things changed so rapidly, right? We participated in the Trump Force 47. We went out. We're doing all of these activities to try to get him elected. Now we have him. We have the entire Senate. We have the Congress. We've made all these. Why would you sit on your hands now? I know it's
Right.
okay. You took a break last month, whatever. But guess what? This is the time where you stand up because the push is now. The push has to be now because guess what? You can change all those things, but until you start changing your state legislature, until you start waking these people up with accountability, respect, communication, they don't work on this level because it's always been business as usual.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Roy, because everyone's got this mentality or this notion that Trump is going to come and save us.
Oh, no.
Trump can only do so much. It's our job. It's our responsibility
That's right.
to meet Trump halfway.
That's
that is by getting involved locally.
Yeah, I mean, I could not agree with you more. Look, Trump, we love Donald Trump. He's great. So what? Donald Trump is doing these other things. It's up to you. Just like you said, Donald Trump cannot worry about Floyd County or Walker County or anything like that. It'll be a prayer if the DOJ gets involved in any of these situations we have in Atlanta to begin with. Sure. Don't hold your breath, right?
Right.
It's up to us to
It's
keep
our
pushing.
duty, right?
It's our duty.
It's 100% our, and I think that's why we are where we are today.
That's right.
Because we kind of just put that on the back burner and we trusted the people that we elect to do that.
Right. And meanwhile, over in Europe, they're literally going and they're arresting people and confiscating their laptops and their phones and putting them in jail for freedom of speech, guys.
Right.
Where do you think that America is going to end up if we're not standing up to this?
Right.
Yeah, we've got to. The
It's
one other
insane.
thing that that has really made an impact on me was General Flynn back, in these past few years. But the statement where he always says, "Local action has a national impact." I remember I made a sign at one of the Marjorie sign waving events back years ago, and that was what I put on it. Local action has a national impact. But I didn't realize then how true and how it was
sure.
full circle to this, but it does.
If it wasn't true, then George Soros wouldn't spend so much time and money to take all of our, hijack our district attorney's offices and our judge positions and try to buy these radio stations. I mean, they know that.
Yeah.
We're having to catch up.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Right.
And that goes back to, even our local media and stuff, and I'm just talking about just Floyd County now, but, the Rome News Tribune, and there's others that kind of surrounding that are very much toe the establishment line. And I think that's, I say that, we have these digital soldiers and social media and all that, and how important that is. Like, I love seeing people that are involved in commenting and leaving comments on where I really got my first start on all that was the Newsbreak app, the
Right.
local stuff, and just put comments on there. But that is important because it lets people see that there's other people out there that are thinking like we are,
That's
or that
right.
there's they're not crazy because they feel a different way about whatever the subject may be. But that's very important. But it's also equally as important to at least once a month or whenever you can to actually physically come out to a meeting for an hour or
That's
30
right.
minutes or something to show it so that there's new faces and you meet like-minded other patriots and all. And it can be a little you can get a little dejected sometimes and looking like we're putting all this effort in and not seeing that much payoff from it. But when I look back at when we first met and stood outside of the Floyd County Commission meeting that first night, and it was like 3 or 4 of us, to where we're at now.
Yes,
it's
yes.
a
Come a
huge
long way.
change.
It's like I always say, it's not a coincidence that we're sitting in this room.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
the truth?
Yeah.
So tell me what position that you're running for.
For a GOP chair.
GOP chair. And what about you, David? What position?
I'm running for first vice chair.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So Floyd County, you guys need to take notice of this. This is what they're running for. Let's see, you've already had your precinct caucus, correct?
That's right.
So, and then what day is your convention on?
March 22nd.
March 22nd. Okay, gotcha. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to comments and see what we've got, and then I'm going to give you guys the final word.
All right, sounds good.
All right, folks. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We got about 30 people on live tonight, so that's
cool,
good.
cool.
Effingham Guardian, wonderful people down in Effingham. I'm telling you what, guys. I want to just say this really quick. We're up here, and the things that we deal with up here, but down in Effingham County, Rankin, Georgia, the Savannah area, if
bad.
we were dealing with what they
Oh,
are
yeah.
dealing with
I
down
know.
there, oh my God! So we heavily support Effingham County and the Guardian and all these great people
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah, that's what we want to keep Floyd County from, because I see it
Oh,
creeping
yes.
in down 411 from Cartersville, and it's getting closer and
Cartersville. Oh
closer.
yes,
They're losing it.
We are. And he says, if you guys need help, reach out to me. And the FM Guardian, if you're not following them, is a great page. They're
I got
very
'em.
active and wonderful, wonderful people. So he says they love their flock cameras.
Oh, yeah, we do. Speed cameras.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. And we've got that problem up here in
Right,
Floyd for
right.
real.
You know who lobbied for that, right?
Who did? Go ahead.
Ralston's son,
Ralston's son.
right?
Isn't it true? Right now we have a bill that's somewhere to take away these speed cameras.
Right, about
Right.
100 senators.
Right, but at the same time, is it like counties like Floyd and a couple others are wanting to put their commission boards are trying to put more speed cameras in?
Right, because it's the school boards that bring it forth. Right, so
Sure.
then you have the commissioners and GDOT who have to vote on it.
Yeah, it's pretty asinine if you ask me. So, Earl Klein, a wonderful up here from Ringgold. Thank you. He says, "Hey y'all." We say, "Hey back." Christina Benjamin, wow, she's all over the place. Thank you for being with us. She says, "Good evening, Etowah Republican Assembly and me." Thank you. Good evening to you too. And Michael Anthony, wonderful Michael Anthony from Pittsburgh. I will call you, brother, and thank you. I love your show. He's a wonderful podcaster.
Awesome.
We got to get him back again. And Christina says, "I follow Mark Kenneth Swanson too." There's so much information to unpack there. You know, Mark is he's on fire. He's very analytical and very smart. And I tell you, he's uncovered so much in Floyd County. Like I said, it's almost like a hornet's nest, like just a tree branch of this whole conspiracy on election integrity. Christina says, "I want to know, do other Floyd GOP groups support you at Etowah, like Republican women or young Republicans?" So basically that's... Does any other Republican groups affiliate with you guys or help
No,
out?
we're not affiliated. We're not affiliated with the YR. We're not affiliated with the Women's GOP.
Okay.
Do we have support from them? No. Unfortunately, when you run for these positions, it all of a sudden becomes a smear campaign, and
I
we're
see.
having to deal with that now. And truth
Right.
matters.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that there maybe in the Republican women, I think there's some that in talking to them and all in the past that maybe are certainly Marjorie fans and agree Trump fans and all and agree with a lot,
Right.
but they are not willing to step out the line.
I got
and
you.
a lot of times it seems.
Right.
but-
All they need to do is just come to
Just
the 4th
talk.
of July celebration.
Yeah.
right,
And you'll
look,
be hooked.
I'm on Facebook. You got my number. You got my email. There's Signal. There's a million ways you can
Right.
reach out to me. You got a question? Come talk to me.
I've
You ain't gotta-
never, ever had a problem getting in touch with either one of you two.
Right. Yeah.
Ever. So,
Right. And I'm going to put that out there now. You want to call me? Call me. You want to text, Signal, whatever you got.
Okay. All right. Judy Bell has a question. She says, "Who is our best choice to fill the commission seat in Floyd County?" So,
For the candidates running?
for the candidates running.
Well, I'm going to leave that up to you guys.
Okay.
You
all
know,
right.
March 4th, come on out and you get
That's
to hear 'em.
right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah, come to our event in here in a few days, and we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have all the candidates there, and I'll be moderating it, and of course
Yes.
we got our whole
Right.
group that are putting it on.
Yes.
Very thankful for all the hard work that everybody's putting into it. But that's really what this is all about. This GOP thing we're doing now, and I think that we actually started setting up this town hall before this GOP
Yeah,
thing
we were
ever came about.
we were the first ones to put this out.
right.
And Floyd County's never done anything like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then once we put that flyer out, everyone it came this competition. Who can do it before
All of a
us?
sudden,
And
yeah.
right, everyone wants to do a town hall or a meeting for the candidates.
But yeah, what we want to do is be able to put the candidates out there, ask questions, and then let the people decide for themselves.
Right.
That's what it should be. Like
They should be
may the best
educated.
man win. Yeah, they
Right.
need to be
That's
educated
right.
and know the people.
No, right.
And for so long, with my involvement in all this, it's you get this. I mean, if you're lucky, you get a handful of names, and then you got to try to search them out on Facebook
That's
or social
right.
media and try to
Right.
find out who they really are. But there's hardly any videos and all.
Yes.
And back, was it last year? I guess we had our ERA endorsed candidate for sheriff that ran, and I did an interview with him and
Whitfield,
tried
yeah.
to put it out and all, and
Right.
and a few others did too. But we need more of that.
Sure.
Right.
I just,
Citizen activism, citizen
Oh, I
journalism,
commend
get it
you.
out there.
I did. That's what I've been doing for half this year. Just calling people, say, "Hey, come in and sit down." And whether it's school board, commission,
Right.
position, We've got to get to know these people.
Yeah.
I know they hate it. I know they like to control this stuff, but the
Sure.
public needs to be aware of everybody that's
100%.
running.
Well,
Yeah.
that was the whole point. That's
yeah.
what we were trying to do.
And
I
you
would-
guys know it's going to be good because I'm going to be there helping.
Yeah,
We're going to
that's
be
right.
running
That's
this thing.
right.
So
Yeah.
You know, and
tell
you
all
bring
your
that
friends.
up, and I do want to point out, we've done many events. All our events have been safe. When people come and speak, there's no attack or anything like that. I know this past week at the YR there was a bit of an issue. So basically, I'm confirming with the candidates that that's not what will transpire at our events. We've done many. We have photos to prove that.
That's right.
Nothing like that has ever happened at our events.
It's unless you're on a cell phone trying to link in on a metal roof, you're not going to have any problem getting your voice out. I can promise you that. So,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm getting Judge Joe Brown on the 5th because he
Yeah.
owes me one. So, all right. Ray Blankenship, wonderful to have you. He says, "Run, Forrest, run." So,
Oh, no, that's right.
you guys, it's great. Judy Bell says, yes to paper ballots and hand counting. Yep, and you know what? If you guys are members of Floyd County Republican Party, you need to be pushing your executive board to put out a resolution in support of this.
Right.
This is going to be huge. We're not going to let this die. People think that some people say, "Oh, this is a publicity stunt." No. This is a campaign now to find how many representatives we can get put on that list.
Yeah.
We want paper ballots.
Yep, absolutely.
Peach State Patriot. Hey, everyone. Hey, back to you. Sharon Holland, as always, thank you so much for watching. She's always there with me. I love it. Lisa Adams, my girl.
All right, Lisa.
Girl from Whitfield. Yes. Peach State says class action lawsuit for the 53rd District is necessary now. And you are 100% right. And I will probably reach out to you tomorrow. It might be too late tonight and just give you a little bit of update on that. So, let's see. I don't know what the name is. SCSCSCO. Need to set term limits. That's a biggie. I'm really not in agreement with the Convention of States, how they're trying to do this. I've always agreed with term limits, always. But, there's arguments to be made on why, and I've always found it suspect of the timing of this.
Right.
But no doubt, that's a whole conversation. In fact, if you want to check out the previous video I did with Arthur Hampton from John Birch Society, we break it down, and I'm not saying it's Bible or anything, but it's a different perspective that needs to be, just
I
debated.
listened to that show you did with Arthur, and he's another one that
Yeah.
I think it would be great. If he would be a great one to come and speak at a Floyd's GOP
Oh,
event
yeah, we can
and
get
talk
him up
about
here.
John Birch
Right.
Society and that
Absolutely.
kind of stuff. That's sorely missing.
We're working on a chapter as we speak,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's probably going to be about April, and I'm super excited because the John Birch Society has a lot of really good things going on. So, Lisa says, getting Trump in was only the beginning.
That's right.
Exactly. Everybody got to take their break. All right, we all got I think the day after the election, which we had done the election night live party and everything,
Right.
I didn't get back till 3:00. I didn't do nothing the next day, and that for me, I'm not even nothing. I literally didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think I came in here with boxes and just sat in a chair and it's just like,
I know it. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
So,
we
yeah.
dodged a bullet with that one big time.
Yep, and here we are now. Oof, we don't even want to get into the national politics. I'm so
Right.
mad about the Epstein list, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
But we're working on it. Antonio Jones, War Room, Georgia, folks, is in the house. He says, she is correct. Nobody is coming to save us. The gift of sovereignty is we, the people
That's right.
of Georgia, have the power. I mean, you can't argue with that, right? And he knows it, and we know it, and you guys know it. That's why you're stepping up to do
Yeah.
this, right? We have to keep this ball rolling, and we've got to bring everybody we can in the fold.
100%.
That's what Antonio's doing a great job down there in Gwinnett
Oh,
and
man.
being a leader, but Antonio can't solve our problems in Floyd, and Roy,
No.
you can't solve our problems in
No.
Floyd.
No.
We have to solve our problems in Floyd.
That's right, and we'll help. That's
Yeah.
all we can do is help, right? And we're working. Antonio, myself, and several patriots from around the state, and I'm proud to say it, are getting more and more interconnected and working together in order to be able to push out these truths, push out the people, and really, really focus on getting the word out to people.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for the future. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then there's a comment, Calhoun Times is totally left heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that the vast majority of the papers are
Right.
going to be left leaning. Right?
Most of them are owned by a parent company
Yeah.
that's, from
Yeah, you
somewhere
remember
else.
the video where they start out talking and they show the 50 people saying the same thing over
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. It's the same thing.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Right.
The Chattanooga Times, man. Oh, sometimes I read their headlines and I'm like, give me a break.
What is it? Isn't one of the editors or something from the Rome News is getting promoted to a position within the county or something now?
County
I think I
clerk.
heard. Yeah,
Yeah.
county clerk. So
That sounds like a conflict of interest.
I don't know about that, but
Gotcha.
that's just kind of more the same.
Right.
And Lisa says it's crazy how we all met. It's crazy, but it's divinity. I mean, I 100% believe that. It's no accident, and it's been great. And Antonio says, replying, yes, the election was to get our fighter in the ring. We are able to provide support and aid for this match by what we do locally. This is where the rubber meets the road. Thank you guys for doing this live, for stepping up and getting involved from War Room, Georgia.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Amen,
Antonio.
man. Yeah. He's great, man. Sharon Seconder. She says, Sharon in Floyd County, great show. Proud of Angela and David. Yes, yes,
We
yes,
love
yes,
Sharon.
yes.
Yeah, she's a great one.
Wonderful. I'm glad you got to see the show. She reached out to me earlier, and I didn't get to send personal links, guys, so we'll just keep sharing it. It's SCSCSCO, Tiny and Sherry Childers from Gordon County support y'all all the way.
All right.
You know, it's a shame we lost Gordon County. You know,
Oh,
I did a
right.
lot of stuff over there in Gordon before all this. We lost them, but there's some really, really good people.
Oh
in
yeah,
Gordon
yeah.
County.
I think we've had Sherry. I think was on our Telegram or something back in when it kind of first started, if I'm not mistaken. It was
Right.
so to meet so many people, the
I
great
know,
patriots, and all. it's
and
hard
I
to keep
know.
up
I
with all
mean,
of them.
hey, Gordon County. I don't care if you're in our district or not. If you guys need help or have some stuff going on, man, feel free to reach out. I would love to get some Patriot people from Gordon County onto the show and,
Right,
and grow and you know, because they're just out there in a whole nother district now, you know.
Sure.
But we've got to support them. I mean, we're neighbors all
Right.
around.
Sherry's
So-
part of Trump Force.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she
good.
played a big
That's
part in
right,
that
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Feel free to reach out if there's something I can help in Gordon County. So, Benito. Hey,
Hello.
Benito's chiming in. You guys are the best. Hey, that's right.
Thank you, Benito.
Word to your mother. Christina Benjamin is wishing you both the best in your candidacy. Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
And Lisa says, call and ask reps to support SB 303. Paper ballots is the only way. No more machines.
Yeah, absolutely.
You couldn't be more right, Lisa. All right. So this will be our final word. I'm going to start with you, David, and I'll let Angela have the last word. So what would you like people to know?
I would I guess, would just reiterate again: the local action has a national impact. If you're a patriot and you're from Floyd County and you've never been to a GOP meeting or don't really know anything about politics and the local issues, heck, I didn't either 5-6 years ago. I was paying attention to the national level, but it was because of realizing how badly patriots like us are needed at the local level to speak out and to bring attention to some of these issues that most of the more establishment people that have been involved for a long time just want to go along to get along, continue the status quo, and I don't think that they're necessarily bad people. I think there's a lot of good people that are representatives and doing work in Floyd County. And they're probably trying to do the best job that they can, and I appreciate it because I know it's a big to be a county commissioner or a representative. That's a big responsibility, but they're there to represent the will of the people, and there's different groups of people, and there's a lot of Rome City and all has seemed to become a lot more liberal in recent years, and that's okay, but there's a lot of farmers and a lot of people with greasy boots and dirt under their fingernails and all that kind of stuff that are that make up Floyd County and have been there for generations, and I remember hearing that when Angela came in, being kind of an outsider from New York and all,
Sure.
and I remember her saying to me, like, maybe I should have just kept going further south to Florida because I thought I was coming here to this little small southern
Right.
town, and everything, it's gonna be great. And I think it probably is a big difference in a lot of ways from where you came from. But what she has kind of seen is a lot of that same kind of mentality and all is coming into Floyd County, and it doesn't have to be that way, but it takes local action having a national impact, people getting involved and saying, hey, let's do something a little different here. Let's
Yeah. And what do
return power to the people.
What
That's
do
what
you
it's all
really
about.
want? You just want things to be done right.
Right.
You want accountability,
That's all we're asking
transparency,
for.
and you want it
Truth
to
and
be done
honesty.
right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
God mercy.
it's not really that complicated.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Angela, you get the
Right.
last word.
So GOP chair, look, we got on this 4 or 5 years ago. We hit the ground running. And when we get in, that's what we plan on doing. Hitting that ground running, getting people involved, getting numbers, hearing people's voices. And we do want to bridge that gap with the local leadership. They need to hear from the people. I don't want people just putting things on Facebook and not really know what they're talking about. Learn how the government works. Learn how Floyd County works. I want everyone to work together and make Rome great.
That's wonderful.
That's where I'm at. I'll just cut it simple and
Well,
to the
guys,
point.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I was over there, you'd get my vote in a heartbeat. So
Appreciate it.
I sure hope everybody in Floyd County helps share this out to the groups and to the people of Floyd so that they can understand where they're coming from. You guys are an open book. You guys take phone calls, messages. You're all over social media. So if you have a question or a concern, reach out to them. Text them, call them, let them know what talk to them, because that's what it's all about.
Can I squash something?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm not a cultist.
Okay.
Let's put that out there. I'm not starting my own government. I will not be minting my own coins, people. We're sovereign,
Gotcha.
right? We've been taken care of already. We have our God-given rights, and that's all that we care about.
Amen. You heard it here first, folks. And don't forget, what is it, the 4th, right?
Right.
This coming Tuesday.
Coming Tuesday, we're
Right.
going to be in Floyd County. We're going to be there with Small Town Underground. We're going to be running this show for all the commissioners' debate. It's not. I guess it's not really debate. We're
Not debate. It's going to do a Q&A.
A Q&A.
Fishbowl Q&A.
And we're going to be there representing. We'll have the microphone set up. You will not look at my ugly mug on the face. I will just be there setting up. And hopefully my buddy Jerry Parrish will be running all the sound. And we're going to live stream this like we did last time. And make this an absolute great event. So
Yeah. I think
I'm
a
looking forward to it.
success in all this, in this upcoming county commissioner election that we're having, is because one of our county commissioners has passed away, and so we're having a special election. And in my mind, a success would be if we can double the turnout in this thing from what it has been in the past. And
Absolutely.
And if my memory serves, it's somewhere like 4,000 ish.
Right.
I think
Right.
so. If we could get 8 to 10 or something, I mean that would be outstanding.
Sure.
And that's just the first step. If we're successful in all this, then further down the road, I'd like to see a lot more numbers than that. But
Right.
this
And
is
I
just
can
the first
tell
step.
you from being involved in Walker, and our GOP has put these on at the Civic Center, and the rooms were full, and we
Right.
were able to hear from them, and they had tables set up. So Floyd County, you need to come out to this thing, man. You need to come out and meet and greet these candidates, and you really need to get involved in who's going to be on that commission board, because the commission board will make you or break you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very
And have some
important.
stability when we do it, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not easy to run for these positions and then put yourself out there.
No, and it's like I always say, even if you can't stand your representative, if you're only coming up to your representative with a pitchfork and you're ready to strangle that person, they're not going to listen to you in the first place.
Right.
Why not call them or text them and be like, hey, this is me. I want to ask you about it. Why not just strike a conversation?
And they'll talk to you.
They will talk to you, but let them know that let your name live in their head for a little while, so
Right.
that every time they do something with a bill or they're looking at it, they want to think about you.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So. Well, great show. I appreciate you guys. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you.
Yes, thank you for having us, Roy. We appreciate it.
Yes, we'll keep monitoring this. And guys, like I said, come out Tuesday and meet and greet, and we'll be out there with them and having a great time. Stores open at 6, right?
Yep, we have food donated by Publix.
Wonderful. All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us on a Saturday night. We're going to get out of here, and you guys have a great evening. I will see you on Tuesday.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Legislature legalized unverifiable voting in 2000.
Like you said to Trump, but they're getting beauty.
They said, go out there and rob these houses and bring back the bounty, and then that'll pay your way.
Because Republicans who get endorsements from Georgia carry that they mean anything.
You can't sit on the sidelines any longer. You must get involved in the game. This is your sign.